provide this training to you. So with that being said, what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually turn it over to Andres Oseguera. We do call him the Wiz here at the Crancer Group. That's his name. I don't know if he likes it. He should, but that's his name. And that's his name. And if you can go ahead and share your desktop, Andres, I'll then be able to push it live for you. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Andres. And then just last thing, once again, let's make this interactive. Put in chats, put in whatever you need. We're here to help. Okay? All right, Andres.
Thank you very much, Sherman, for the introduction. I am very happy to be here, hopefully to share some very insightful information for everybody. Can you see my desktop, Sherman? Am I sharing it?
Yes.
Go? Okay, perfect.
We're good to go.
Just wanted to make sure. So again, I just kind of want to set the stage here. This is meant to be an interactive session between me and the rest of the team here with all of you. It's not meant to be me just throwing information at you and you getting bored within 20 minutes and then pretending like you're paying attention. We want to make sure that you learn as much as possible, have a good time, and really come away with some good information. So with that being said, why don't I go in a little bit more into the customer immersion experience, exactly why we're doing it, why Microsoft came up with this program. So very simple explanation is Microsoft is continually growing, they're continually advancing and changing all the tools and the resources that they have at the disposal for businesses and people to use. What happens with that is what Sherman mentioned earlier is about 5 years ago, the typical person probably knew anywhere around, 25 to 30% of what Microsoft had to offer. But we've reached a point in time where there's been so many advancements, such as Teams recently, where the typical person is going to be anywhere between 5 and 8% at this time. So Microsoft realized that, and they said, okay, why don't we find a way to push this information out to as many people as possible in an effective way? So out came the customer immersion experience, and that's what we're going to be doing today, albeit virtual. So the way they always want to start this experience is they want to make it a group effort. They kind of we want to understand who we're speaking with and the different struggles and pain points that you're all experiencing. So if you could all do me a favor and just share with the group, everybody put one thing in that Q&A section, of maybe a struggle from working from home recently with the recent pandemic that's come out. What's a struggle working from home? Or maybe you already have Teams and you're struggling using Teams. What's one thing that is either a struggle for you or maybe you want some more clarity, just so we kind of have an idea of what different things we can touch on today. So if you could please add that into the Q&A, that'd be very helpful. I'll give you guys a minute.
Yeah, so Q&A or the chat function, and I can actually, we can actually just talk about it, really. Maybe I'll just call on a few folks here. Let me go with, or Don Swanson. You're a great advocate of great technology. If you can unmute, maybe you can tell us, something that you struggle with or you've seen people struggle with within Microsoft.
Hey, thanks for the plug, Sherman. So the thing I'm really interested in is understanding when I get Teams one-on-one, but in a group like this, kind of a medium-sized group, and how do you make it so that one person can be the kind of the primary presenter, like you're doing, and you get to see their work primarily, but then you also have the interaction from others. I mean, this particular hour and a half session is perfect for that, kind of balancing that presentation with collaboration.
Okay, perfect. So Teams was created in a lot of ways to be able to solve that issue. So that's a great question. We'll definitely touch on that. I mean, one very quick answer is what we're doing today, like you mentioned, the live event. But even Teams meetings, you can also share your screen. You can show the information, and you can mute people who are in the meeting. So there's a lot of different ways to answer that, but we'll definitely get into that as well. Anything else? Anyone else?
We have Keisha. Keisha, would you like to maybe share something that any type of issue that you might have or thought?
Hi guys.
Well,
Oh, 1 second. I actually muted you. I apologize. I, if you, let's see, unmute. Or can you try to unmute from your side? I'm sorry, Keisha. There
Sure,
you
what
go.
about now?
There you go. Perfect.
there you go.
All right, that's going on your survey. Yeah, so we use Teams. I think organizationally, people are still getting used to that. And so managing a crew of 10 people, I'm over a crew of 10 people within United Way, a department. And so I'm realizing that I should probably be housing almost everything in Teams. Like literally in the past week, we've been forced to use it. We've been using it before for some of our major projects, right? But now that COVID's on the scene, we've been having to do all of our meetings via Teams, so not using anything else but Teams. I've been able to do instant messaging calls. I found that I can do the planner. So honestly, as a team lead for me, I'm looking for all the cool ways that I can lead my team and have everything centralized. So
Perfect.
yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
That is one of the best insights that we've had in a while, just because that's a very useful question, right? Like, okay, how can I make sure that everything is in one place and we can communicate with everyone and solve that issue? Teams was really created to solve that problem, so I can't answer that question in one sentence. We'll cover all of that today, but I think you'll definitely, you've probably already seen it, but creating your own team, having channels within there, sharing files, and the plan that you talked about, we'll definitely touch on that. So thank you so much for that. Maybe one more, Sherman, and then we'll get started.
So Jacob, let me go ahead and unmute you, Jacob, if you'd like to. If you have a microphone, we can give you an option to talk about best practices for Microsoft Planner. Help us understand that.
This is Jacob. Good afternoon, everyone. So when it was first introduced, when I first came on with United Way Greater Atlanta, we had one of our chief information officers, come down and give us a brief presentation on how to use it. And one of the things that excited me most about Teams on just the first pass was the Microsoft Planner, because I felt like it was a good way to send reminders to people and a good way to kind of structure tasks and time. We haven't fully implemented it, so I'm just wondering if there are examples of how people do it, if we're going to cover some of those specific functions within Teams today.
Perfect. So yes, we will be we'll be talking about how to set up. We'll create a team together, or everyone will individually create their own team, and then we talk about how to set up, what kind of apps we want. One of them specifically is Planner, so we'll cover that, and we'll talk about why we personally love Planner, how we use it, and how Microsoft, what it was intended for. So we'll definitely cover that. I'm happy to hear that.
Great.